Okay, so to get this project started, we're going to need a round piece of fabric and a rectangle piece of fabric. And you're going to want to go ahead and do some iron-on interfacing on there. Doesn't have to be very thick. And for the round piece, what I did is I went into the kitchen and I grabbed a plate, put it down there, marked around it, and cut it out. And it turned out to be 12 inches. And then you want to fold it in half like a taco, and then mark the centers on both ends. Open it up, and then you want to cut this in half. And you know, this bag is really simple, and I don't know if it's a makeup bag or just a cosmetic bag or just a bag, but you know, guys, and I'm speaking to the males, if you're not into making these kind of bags, some are. A lot of guys, you know, they make these for the makers markets and the flea markets and the sales and stuff. But if doing this style of bag is not your thing, I get it. Make it out of Cordura nylon, like 1000D Cordura nylon, and then for the liner, use some automotive headliner foam or some other kind of fuzzy stuff, and call it a pistol bag. Either way. So the width of this, you're going to want it to be the length of the semicircle, and then I went with 5 inches. And that seemed to be a good outcome, because this is like my third or fourth rendition of this. And so we're going to put this face to face, and we're going to sew on the back side. And I was able to tell from my other ones that on this step, a 1/4 inch was too narrow. So just on this one, we're going to do 3/8. So that's in between 1/4 and 1/2 on my needle plate. And we're just going to sew it down. And you see I am making this on the Vevor M2 machine. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to put it face to face. Line up your ends. And sew that at 3/8 of an inch. Okay, so far we're pretty simple, right? So now we're going to open this up, and we're just going to splay out this seam allowance. Because we're going to sew that down. Now this time I am putting this edge right here on the edge of my foot, and this is a P35 foot. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing to this other side now. But that's what it looks like. That looks great. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so that's what we got so far. Okay, so now we're going to take this and we're going to fold it in half, make sure that our seams are aligned. We're going to come here and we're just going to snip a little corner, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay. There's no real reason for doing that other than what we're fixing to do now. All right, so we're going to come in 4 centimeters, and we're going to come up 3 centimeters. So all we're doing is making a little rectangle that's 4 by 3 centimeters. And we're just going to take our scissors. I'm going to cut that out. Okay, so I went over to the cutting table and I used this as a template for the liner. All right, but for now we're going to set that aside because we're going to go ahead and put this zipper on. And I've chosen this green zipper. As you can see, maybe it matches. I had one of this light green, but it was a little too aqua. But I don't know, that doesn't look bad. So you don't have to be too precise here because you can let them hang off the ends. So what we're going to do is we're going to start. Now you want this teeth down. Now this is a coil zipper, but you want this teeth down, and we're just going to start right here and go just going to go in a straight line. And when we start getting to the curve, we're just going to make little nips just to help us go around this curve. Okay, good. I'm just going to cut these to get them out of my way. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to set that aside a second, and we're going to take our liner and we're just going to put this together so just temporarily so that it's on there. We're just going to use 2 clips. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to stitch maybe 1.5 there, 1.5 there. That's all we got to do. And on this, I am back to my 1/4 inch. Alright, now I'm going to take, I'm just going to cut just a little bit off this fold. I mean, you could have done this in the beginning, but I like to do it like this because I like to keep it, I like to keep the big part together. Alright, so that's our hole that we're going to use to pull it through. Alright, so we're just going to take this, we're going to open it up, we're going to go to the outside, and we're just going to line this up. And you don't have to use these kind of clips. I've got probably, I don't know, 200 or so of the little plastic Wonder clips, which they do really good. It's no wonder they call them Wonder clips. Alright, so we're gonna just go, and you can feel the teeth on here. I'm just gonna keep the teeth on the edge of the foot. Okay, guys, we are almost finished. Okay, so now we want to take our pinking shears and we're just going to go around the perimeter. If you don't have any pinking shears, get some. They are wonderful, but they sure do make a mess. Okay, so now we can turn this inside out. Okay, and again, we are almost finished. So we got our zipper on. We got this done. We got this done. We're going to do our zippers out, and we're going to push out. Woo. We don't want that coming off. We just want to turn this inside out a little bit, but we don't want our zippers to come off. Tell you what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a clip right there just to keep that from coming out. Well, just pop my clip off. Alright, so we still have this hole right here. We got to fix that. Okay. Now we're going to take each one of these, we'll line them up. Okay, now we've evened up our zippers. So, the only binding that we're going to do on this is right now. So we're going to cut a 1-inch strip, and we're just going to fold over the end. I'm going to lay it on here, fold it over. And we're going to cut this off about right there. Boy, these little pieces are so, you know, I don't know if I told you, but I'm a welder, and I'm used to manhandling my stuff that I'm building. Okay, and that's the only binding we have to do. And guess what? We are done. Now, like I said, this is just a simple little bag, but it's up to you to make it yours. And you know, play with the sizes. Get the sizes the way that you want it. And that's the inside. I don't have a use for this bag myself, but I'm going to take it over and give it to my mom. She will find something to do with it. Or she may just sit there and stare at it for 3 weeks. There's no telling nowadays. There you go. That's a cool little bag. And super simple to do. I would imagine that if I made this bigger, it would be a lot easier to handle for me. Maybe somebody with more nimble hands can do it. But I like this on the side. That's pretty neat. If I make another one, I might do this part right here in a faux leather. That would be cool. Or I might do the whole thing in a faux leather. I don't know. Anyway, if you make this bag, take a picture of it and send it to me. I will put it on a video and showcase it for everybody to look at. But that's a pretty cool little bag. And if you enjoyed this project, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave a comment, good or bad. I don't care. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend.